Imagine camping so deep inside the woods that it would take you a solid 40 minutes just to reach any sort of civilization. I know that sounds crazy to most people, but there's so much more to do in the Sam Houston National Forest than just camping. That being said, I think that everyone who lives relatively close to the Sam Houston National Forest should spend a day or even a weekend there and see everything there is that it has to offer. Not only is it full of so much history and is the largest national forest in Texas, but it is so peaceful and beautiful and relaxing and a great place to spend a weekend or a day with family and friends. Some people love camping and other people don't. But at the Sam Houston National Forest, there's so much more to do than just that. There's hunting, fishing, you can go horseback riding, there's a shooting range, there's so many dirt bike trails, and on top of all that, of course, camping. It is so peaceful and serene, and it's a great place to go just to get away from the loud city and the everyday hassles of working and dealing with everything at home in the city. So, to give some information, there are 4 national forests in Texas. The Sam Houston National Forest is the largest, being 163,045 acres. The other 3 forests are the Davy Crockett National Forest, the Angelina National Forest, and the Sabine National Forest. As you're walking through the Sam Houston National Forest, there are a lot of artifacts that you can find that maybe not even the park rangers know about. This forest is so large and so big that every day they're still finding new artifacts and things in the forest. You can find things such as structures or statues, as well as really old cemeteries, and even maybe some historical sites that have small buildings or even, areas where people used to live. According to the United States Department of Agriculture's forest system, there is record of human occupation in the Sam Houston National Forest 12,000 years ago, and there's record of people living in the Sam Houston National Forest back 7,000 years ago. The Sam Houston National Forest is very close to Houston, and it literally only takes an hour drive to get from Houston to the town of New Waverly, which is where the Sam Houston National Forest is. Of course, depending on what campground you stay at or go to for your activities, it may take a little longer once you get to the Sam Houston National Forest. There are 3 different camping grounds: the Caggle Campground, the Double Lake Campground, and the Stubblefield Campground. The Caggle and Double Lake campgrounds are only by reservation, and they fill up usually pretty quick, especially on the weekends. But these campgrounds both have bathrooms within walking range, and the Caggle Campground even has hot showers available for you all day. Now, my favorite campground is the Stubblefield Campground. It's also known as the Hunter's Campground, and it is completely primitive. There's no places to hook up RVs or anything. There's nothing out there, and you have to bring everything yourself. To get to a restroom, you would have to take a 5 to 10 minute drive just to get to the closest one. There are park rangers at the park that are constantly day and night going through, driving, talking to people, making sure everything's going all right, and you are very safe at the park. So, now that I know that you'll be spending a weekend or a day in the Sam Houston National Forest, I'd like to share some of my own experiences that I had to learn the hard way. My first experience is raccoons will eat your food, especially through the night. If you leave your cooler with nothing on top of it, the raccoons will open your cooler and take all of your food. It's happened to me more than once. And we had to learn to find a large rock or something heavy to stick on top when we go to sleep, because the raccoons will take everything and we won't have breakfast for the next morning. Another thing I learned is there are many coyotes in the forest. And your first night staying there, it might be a little scary to hear them. But you should know that the coyotes are more scared of you than you are of them, and they will not come inside your campground while you're there. So, now that you understand just how beautiful and relaxing and serene the Sam Houston National Forest is, I really hope that you will spend a little time out of your day, out of your weekend, to take a vacation trip with your friends or your family to go see the Sam Houston National Forest, which is so close to home. Nothing makes you feel better than just sitting back in your lawn chair with no worries in the world, just listening to the sounds of nature. It is so peaceful, and it is the best place to go for a really, really cheap vacation. If you spend a weekend at the Sam Houston National Forest, or maybe even just a day, I promise you won't regret it. Thank you.